Okay, guys, round two. It's round two. We're middle of round two of the NBA playoffs. Let's get to it. Donnie sit here, the DS pod, with my guest from Israel, special guest this week again. He gave us his insight before round one, and now he's back to support his Knicks in round two. He's very happy. Look at him smiling ear to ear.
Go
Jalen
Knicks,
Brunson.
baby.
Let's go Knicks. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Where do we start? Round one.
So
Let's
first of
let's
all,
start. I
let's
feel like
just
let's start in the bottom. Let's start with all the loser series that stunk, that were too fast and too easy that nobody even watched. As Kendrick Perkins said, I'm not even watching those, Molly. Like I
yeah,
ain't
I
even
know,
about that life. I'm a busy man. No, okay.
but
Anyway,
there wasn't really any of those matchups. That's the
yeah, there
thing.
was two. The
The
Timberwolves
truth
and the
is,
Nuggets was a
right?
very quick,
That's
easy
true.
series, which nobody really gave the Timberwolves a chance. I don't know what they're doing. See, this is where we have to discuss because obviously the Nuggets advanced, and then we'll get to them next. But now, like that series was so easy. I mean, just I don't even did you even I've did you tune into any of those games? I must have tuned in. Maybe they went to overtime one game. I don't know. I tuned in a little bit. Ant gave you like a 40 piece. He's a special talent, that guy. But what
Bro,
a disaster that Rudy Gobert trade is
first of
looking
all, I
like
don't
right
tune
now.
into any games because they're middle of the night. But the only games I
We
tune
got the
into are my New
highlights.
York Knicks.
Right. So you watch the 9 minute highlight clips on YouTube.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I watch the highlights. Sometimes I try
That's
to
the
watch
best.
like whatever the games, the replays, but there's I can't watch every game replay. It's
Right.
too long.
Right.
But
Right.
but yeah, the highlights are good. Highlights are enough to know that
So I'm
the
just saying,
Timberwolves suck.
think about the Timberwolves from their perspective. They mortgaged what 5 picks, first round picks for Rudy Gobert, thinking that would put them in contention to win, to be a winner, to be a contender. And they're barely a playing team that got bounced in the first round that won one game. Do you
First of
think that
all,
trade was worth it now? Do you think they're sitting there scratching their heads
no,
like
what's of course they're scratching their heads.
so
First of all, they
but
could have
like
gotten they could have gotten with that those picks. Like I don't know why they didn't trade for Donovan Mitchell.
instead, right, right.
He
And then
wasn't
just
officially available when they were trading. With what they traded, they could have traded for KD.
it
Like
happened a couple of weeks before. Yeah, they could have got KD for sure, that value. But yeah, hindsight's 2020, I guess. Just looking into next year, what is their plan? Their plan is just going to be let's run it back. We'll get better. We have another year under the belt. We'll build some team chemistry, and hopefully we'll be better because it's not enough. Towns,
definitely.
Gobert, and Anthony Edwards is not enough. Anthony Edwards is the future star. I don't know what he's going to be.
I
This guy's
feel
ceiling
like
is
at some point they're just gonna might even be
blow
this
it up.
offseason. They're gonna blow it up and just rebuild it around and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they're done with the whole Towns thing. They thought maybe he could be a superstar. He never really took that role on properly, in my opinion. I don't know. Um, and then yeah, wow. So yeah, so they might blow it up, but it's going to be interesting to see what direction that is. Then you have the Nets with Philly. What do you have to say about the Brooklyn Nets after 3 years of
right. So
toxic
that was also
relationships with
another
Harden, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, all on the same team? They played 13 games together in 3 years, and they didn't make it past to a conference finals even.
all I have to say is I'm happy.
Because you're a Knicks fan, and
Yeah.
everyone was saying, what was everyone saying? KD, don't you regret not
Don't you
coming
regret
to the
not coming to the
league?
Knicks?
That video is so hype.
It's
It's so
crazy.
hype. I can't. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I
Don't you
you can watch that to hype yourself up for a regular season game. Like so KD. That's a great hacky. Wow, awesome. But
No,
yeah,
but that
like
was
the
the
Nets.
original video is crazy.
Yeah, the original video was so funny. But I love how he did it again. I love how he did it
Yeah.
twice. Like the guy's
Lit.
beast. Anyway, but like thinking of the Nets, like so they, obviously it got to a point people were talking to me and like, why didn't they just keep KD and Kyrie and at the end of the season, decide from there because you still have a chance to win a title. You got KD, you got Kyrie. Hopefully Ben Simmons comes back because this guy has injuries. What is going? What is even Ben Simmons? $35 million a year to play basketball, and he doesn't play. His mental health issues, back issues, toe issues, his shoe is too big. What's going on?
At this point,
He
he's
does,
just like he can't play
he's just
ball
there.
anymore.
He
Just
can't play ball. He's a broken player. I don't know. He can't shoot. He can't do. So this is why I'm asking now from the Nets perspective is like, where do you go from here? You got Bridges, fine. He's a great piece. What can he be? Who knows? I don't think he can be a 1. He's not a 1.
no.
He was just a 4 in Phoenix.
Listen, the Nets, like their situation is not like terrible because it's not like they don't have any picks. Like they got some stuff back
Right.
when
They
they
got
traded the
they got
guys.
picks so they can. So what are they gonna do? They're just gonna
So
restart. You
yeah,
you, you start
listen,
from scratch.
I
They're
think
basically where they were before they got KD. Young
exactly,
team,
but they're not
Claxton,
even as
Cam
good.
Thomas, not even as good because they
I feel like
lost
they're
Jared
not as
Allen.
good. Yeah,
I
they
mean, I
lost
don't know.
Jared Allen, they lost
They lost
D'Angelo Russell, they
D'Angelo
lost Karis
Russell.
LeVert, they lost.
But that team was it really going to be anything? It's also super mid team.
No, but the point is, that's how you build. You build a
Right,
team that's solid,
right.
good, and that is not
But I'm
mortgaging
saying in a
anything.
sense that's what they have now. Like right now, but they only have wings. There's no true
So,
bigs besides the Claxton, and there's no real guards
so I'll tell you
besides
what
like Cam Thomas. It's
the
all
the
wings.
problem with the Nets right now is let's compare them to the Knicks. Wait, the Knicks are in a position where they have
You
more
love
picks
that.
available than the Nets. They did not make that trade for this star this offseason, which they didn't because the asking price was too high.
Right. Which
And
in
they're in a
hindsight was a
position
good thing,
right now. They're possibly going to the
considering
Eastern
they just
Conference
beat them.
Finals, and
Hopefully.
they're
Cross your
listen.
heart.
Even if they
Fingers
don't, it's
crossed.
not like this season is a fail. They have so many avenues to improve after the
The
season. They
season
have
can't be
all
a
their picks,
failure if you won a playoff series for the first time in 10 years. Your season was a success.
but it could
They
be.
already.
You're right, but you don't want to do that. Meaning the way that they did it with Melo, where after that
Right,
season they were like,
right.
"We're
They
never
didn't.
winning again,"
They
and
hit the
like it's
ceiling.
over.
No,
Yeah,
but they can still build around what they have right now.
so that's what I'm saying. And they have their
But
picks available. They have cap space once they get rid of Fournier's contract. He's
right.
expiring this season,
Oh, there you
this next
go.
season.
At the end of the
Um,
year, he's expiring.
he's expiring. Derrick
So
Rose is
he's a tradable
expiring.
contract. So they're
He's
tradable
tradable.
contracts.
They're both tradable.
Okay,
They
that's
both could
good.
probably contribute to some team out
Yeah,
there.
spot up
I'm saying,
shooting, backup point
yeah.
guard, whatever.
Listen, Fournier. What Fournier brings, it just happens to be it doesn't fit with the Knicks, but he's a skilled player. He still shoots like
He's an
40% from
amazing
three.
shoot. Yeah, he's a great shooter. I don't know what else he does. Apparently, he can't play
Yeah,
defense like Jordan. Like
no,
he's Jordan Poole. And don't get me started.
we'll get to him. We'll get to
We'll
him.
get to him. No, but I'm just saying. So what? When you just equated that, and you're laying out the blueprints for building a team, but the Nets really who's the where? Like, is it Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas? Is that what you're building the team around? You're building a team around Dorian Finney-Smith, mid, Spencer Dinwiddie, super mid, overrated, and has tanked his value as a player in the league because
Yeah.
he did not play well. I don't know. I was watching him take
He didn't
better
play well. I
shots.
mean, all he does is fight. He's fighting with Kuzma on Twitter.
Kuzma with the fit.
Weirdos.
Yeah, because they're former teammates or whatever. For
I
20
know they're
years,
so
they
weird.
played together.
He was like, "Yo, Washington didn't even want you." Like, what are you saying? Like,
He told that
why?
to Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, they're just like babies. They're
Yikes.
just like they just sounded like they were being like such babies.
Whatever, you got it's the NBA. You gotta trash talk. It's part of the business.
Of course.
But I just mean they really have no identity going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see who they get rid of, who they trade for, who they draft, and what do they
Yeah.
what because now you have a team that just had KD, Kyrie, and Harden. They go straight back to being irrelevant. They're so irrelevant that when I went to a game, the Nets Bucks in that playoff series that they lost with his foot on the line. I went to a game. It was $250 for the worst ticket, and I just went to a game last week, and it was $50
like,
for the worst ticket. That's how much of value they're
well, that's what
losing
happens. Yeah.
from every venue. They're losing that in jersey sales. They're losing that in primetime television. They're losing that from ticket sales. They're losing that all over, and it's just crazy to think that they were just they bought their way into relevancy by getting those 2-3 guys, and it was all about the culture of Brooklyn. And then they fought for 3 years and they ran like chickens.
To be fair, they did have like a decent culture. It was just Kyrie came in and just like tore it apart. Like,
That's what he does.
that
That's what he
guy
does, like
could go-
clockwork. What did he do to Luka? Luka
I'm
spent 2
telling you,
weeks with
like,
Kyrie. He was depressed. He was
I
depressed.
can't
Why is he
wait to
depressed?
see what happens.
Have you
Yeah.
ever watched Luka play basketball where he wasn't smiling and poking fun? This is a guy who beat Devin Booker last year, and there's like a famous picture meme of him going like this, looking up. Right? You
I
saw
know,
that picture
yeah,
where he's like
those
looking
eyes.
at Booker like, "Ha, I beat you by 60. I came."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's such a happy guy, and to go from that to like, I feel no joy playing basketball. In 2 weeks, Kyrie was there. 2 weeks, he destroyed them, and now they're stuck with him because they have to re-sign it. But what are they going to do? Let go of him, let go of Christian Wood, and go nowhere? Where do you go?
Imagine you could have had Jalen Brunson for the
50.
mid-level exception. Like,
What would have been on a yearly salary? Would have been like
is
50 million
55 for 4
over
years.
4 years.
Like, what is
Wow.
that? 15 million or something? Like
15, 14, 13,
something like that. Something ridiculous. But that's just
insane.
like how dumb are you?
That's
Mark Cuban
inexcusable.
blocked me
That's
for
inexcusable.
telling you.
I forgot he blocked you on Twitter. Mark Cuban went out of his day to block someone on Twitter who told him you should have signed Brunson. Like, I can't. That's too funny.
No, but it was so
pissed,
funny,
bro.
He was like talking about like something random about like Twitter, and he was like, "How come?" He's like, "I have a burner account, Elon Musk." You know, I always tweets at Elon Musk, and he's like, "Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" And then I just wrote it under. I was like, "They said it's not working for anyone who didn't sign Jalen Brunson to the mid-level exception."
And he no, the blocking for me would be so validating because it like got you got to Mark Cuban's head. What does that even mean?
From a little phone call me up for the CEO job.
Right, like like on the LinkedIn. Wow, I'm dead. It's like KD with his burner accounts and his thing and his Twitter. It's too funny. Okay, anyway, we got to move it along here. So we covered the Nets. We covered the Timberwolves. Let's stay in the East. Let's go through the East, the first round. Okay, Cleveland, the Knicks. The Knicks pretty much dominated the Cavs the whole series on the boards. And, Donovan Mitchell, I don't know how well he played or not. I didn't see his statistics. But they lost in a gentleman's sweep. I don't – like, the Cavs are a young team also. But, like, when you look at it, they don't have enough.
So
and they traded away their depth and their youth to get Donovan Mitchell.
That's the difference between right now the Cavs and the Knicks. You see, the Knicks could have done what the Cavs did.
No, but you know it's funny that you're saying that because the Knicks are about to do it. They didn't do it yet, but they're about to do it.
They're about to do it after their 50-win team that's going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
You just make sure this year when they go, because they're going to do it, to get that star or whoever it is, we don't know who it is yet. It'll materialize that they don't give up so much of the future 100%. And they don't give up so much of the depth.
I saw what Leon Rose did this offseason.
Where are we holding on time wise? Just for my own knowledge.
I have no idea.
Oh shoot, because we're on a time crunch, isn't it? Going to close at a certain 40 minute. Technical difficulties.
Whatever, it'll help, I think.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. No, I just want to cover ground.
The reason why the Knicks are in such a good position right now is because they could have done what the Cavs did, and they could have gave up Grimes quickly and RJ and 3 picks, and they could have got Donovan Mitchell, and then
but that's all your depth,
and that's all your 47-win team, and then they would have been good, but they would have probably lost in the first round. They would have been playing a better team in the first round. They probably would have this is why
another thing
for not doing the trade.
Everyone mentions Stephen A. Still crying about that trade.
And now he wants to be a Knicks fan.
I bashed them that they didn't do the trade either. The only reason to me why it made sense not to do the trade is because Donovan Mitchell has never won and he's never proved himself that he's that guy. You know what I mean? Like if that was Giannis, then I'll give you my house. Right. That's what I'm saying. So it didn't make so much sense because like what are we getting in return? We're getting a star who just
Yeah.
was with Utah for 5 years and went nowhere. Big deal.
They keep getting bounced in the second round.
Right,
They're
first
good,
round,
they're
second
decent,
round. They
they're
lost
not
to
good.
Dallas they lost to Jalen Brunson alone 2 years ago
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
I know.
Last
And
year in the
Luka
playoffs when Luka was
last year,
out.
and
So
Luka
it's
was
just
out.
no. I'm on your side about that. It's just you have to make sure that now when the Knicks do it going forward that they don't do what the Suns just did, because look, it's paying dividends already in the Suns. In round 2, they're down 2-0, and people are saying there's no depth, there's no bench.
Listen,
they just lost Chris Paul. We don't even know if he's going to play in Game 3. We don't know if he's going to play again in the series. And they have no depth, and these guys can't rest. KD can't go off the floor for 2 minutes. Otherwise, they go down 10.
Is, by the way, also that nobody really thinks about is after Donovan Mitchell's contract is up, he's signing with the Knicks in free agency.
Right. He wants to be a Knick. He's a diehard Mets fan. Apparently, I don't know why he would want to do that.
His father.
His father. So see the light. No, the Yankees aren't any better. Let's not get involved in all that noise.
Oh my God.
Let's wait for health and the postseason, and then the Astros will sweep the Yankees just like they do.
It's just normally, like I'm following baseball now because like the Knicks are out, and like I can't even like focus on baseball because I'm just so into the Knicks right now. It's so much fun.
No, I agree with that. Like you can't really focus on other sports when you have your team and you're invested. Like, which is funny because Albert, you and Albert are big Knicks fans, but Albert's also a diehard Rangers fan, and the Rangers just lost Game 7, which is brutal. But like, I feel like in his head, he's like, "Listen, I can only follow one team, and I'd rather the Knicks because he had the Rangers last year. The Rangers almost went to the Cup last year, 2 wins away." So,
but still, the Rangers, like, I don't really know about hockey, but like, it feels like the Rangers need to do something already.
Definitely. They're in the similar predicament as the Knicks, which is we're good enough to be, a 4 or 5 seed or whatever, and get it.
They need that guy.
Are we good enough to who's going to take us over the top? Which is what they tried to do. They traded for Patrick Kane, but it didn't work out. He was injured, whatever. Anyway, so back to the Cavs. What they don't have any picks. They don't have any leverage. I don't know what they have in cap space.
They don't have a way to
It'd be interesting to see. Listen, they just need to play better and get better. Like they all just need to collectively get better. Jared Allen needs to get better. Evan Mobley is a talented dude. He's going to get better. Donovan Mitchell, has he hit his ceiling? I don't know, but he can get, Darius Garland, all these guys can get better. And then Karis LeVert, they're a young team. They're a good team, but I don't know. They just got bullied. They got bullied on the boards. They're not going to win a playoff series getting bullied on the boards.
But watching the Knicks 2 years ago against the Hawks, like it felt like the same type of thing for the Cavs. Like it's your first time in the playoffs, and like you got like so rattled, and like the Knicks came out. They were so much more ready, and they were so much more tough, and they were like,
okay. So as time will go on, they'll get better.
They'll get better.
I hear. Yeah. But basically, there's not going to be a major changes in Cleveland going forward.
Oh, but I'm sure. Also, I'm sure they'll sign like they need to find someone like that could
Jay Crowder,
be Isaac Okoro, and actually
Jay Crowder. I was just saying Jay Crowder was on the Bucks this year, who they traded picks to get him, and he didn't play.
No, what was that? What
was that? Okay, so now we're segueing into the next story, which is the Bucks Heat series, which was, oh my gosh, Jimmy Butler put on a show for the ages.
He put on a show, but even though he put on a show, like why did the Bucks like get crushed?
I honestly, Giannis missing all those free throws, a lot of free throws, and the coach not calling a timeout with 0.5 on the clock when it's a tie game. Like, why wouldn't you try to get a shot off? You have a timeout.
I understand that, but like they should have been dominating the series. The thing is about the Bucks.
Not only that, everyone says, "Oh, they missed Giannis 1 game, 2 games." The game that Giannis missed was game 2, and they won by 30.
Right.
That's the only game they won. I don't know. How do you fix that? The expectation and the whole failure video with Giannis. Oh, is this year a failure? Yeah. Oh, Michael Jordan never didn't win. He's not failure. Whatever. European, French, whatever. Greek freak. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's a failure. You're the number 1 seed. You can't lose to a borderline playing team that has 4 undrafted free agents starting. You can't do that. I'm sorry. Look at the contract. Look how much money Giannis is getting paid.
It was a failed season, but it doesn't mean like the team is a failure. Like overall, they won a championship.
They could come back next year and win it all.
Right.
And you know that. They're already there. What went wrong exactly? I don't know.
I'll
Just a
tell you
lot
what.
went wrong.
I think like with the Bucks.
And why
first
did
of
Jay
all,
Crowder play if they can't
no
guard
one
Jimmy
knows.
Butler? And why are they not double teaming Jimmy Butler? He's the only one who's scoring.
Weird.
Why don't you
I
double
don't
team
know.
him? Why are you letting him getting a 50 piece?
It's very weird. Didn't they lose? They lost to the Heat like a few years
Yeah,
ago. Also,
before
no?
they swept them the year that they went to the finals. The year before that, I think, the year that the Heat played the Lakers in the bubble, that they lost to the
Right.
Lakers,
Right.
the Heat
Right.
beat
So
the Bucks.
they
So it
beat the
seems
Bucks.
to be that the Heat have like Giannis's number. So
Mhm.
maybe it just it's not a good matchup for them or whatever.
I'm
Interesting.
trying to think like why it wouldn't be a good matchup. Like it's just weird.
It's
I
weird.
don't know.
Especially because Giannis should just dominate Jimmy Butler. No,
100%. You
So
have
is it
like
Giannis?
so many guys.
I don't know if you put Jimmy Butler up there in the top 10 or 12 players in the NBA, like currently right now. But like Giannis,
You have
according to everyone, is number one, like is top
Yeah.
3, whatever. You want to put Embiid there, fine. You want to put KD there, but like go look at the rankings of the last 5-10 years. Giannis is in the top 5 every year. We have 9 minutes left. Okay. We didn't even get to the second
nice
round.
that they
So maybe you want to do 2. We'll do first round recap and then we'll do a second round. Yeah. Okay. So now that leaves us with the last team is the Hawks that got beat by the Celtics, which they made it interesting. Kudos to them.
They
We knew they
did.
weren't going to win the series. They came back without DeJounte Murray when he got suspended for pushing a ref. Nobody knows why he's doing these things. Nobody knows why these people do these things.
Another team that gave up their future to trade for a mid guy.
He's a good player. He's a really good player.
They give up 3 first-round picks for him. They have nothing.
It wasn't a good trade. I didn't like the trade. I didn't like the trade at all. Yeah, that was
disaster.
So where do they go from here? Because again, they're stuck in mid territory. They're stuck in mid territory. The Cavs are stuck in mid territory. The Nets are stuck in mid territory, and these are teams that are not going to contend for a championship in the next 4 to 7 years. And they have to pay Trae Young and they have to pay Donovan Mitchell. And maybe it's worth it for them because like we stay relevant, we sell tickets, we think. But how do you spearhead your team? I mean, I guess that's the whole challenge of being an NBA franchise. How do we win championships? But it's just super interesting to see what they'll do because they need to shake things up. I don't know if it's John Collins. I don't know if it's this one. I don't know what it is exactly, but
it's just funny. Like everyone, it's not the idea. I'm not going to say this like not the idea of tanking, but if you watch what the Sixers did until they finally got like Embiid,
right?
They kept on like drafting and then trading the pick, the guy, and like they drafted Michael Carter Williams and they like traded him
the process.
Is that
what you're referring to?
Yeah,
the process.
I'm just saying like they obviously did it a little bit like too over the top, but if you think about it, that's the way to build. You have to keep drafting until you get a team that's solid.
You're telling teams you're basically the Atlanta Hawks is a great example because if you look at who they were 10 years ago when they had like I don't know who the guys were, Al Horford, that Josh Smith,
Kyle Korver.
They were a really good team and they got lost every year in the first round because they were super mid. Whoever they lost, LeBron, Toronto, they were super mid team. And what you're saying is basically you're either in mid, which is hell because you're not going up or down, or you go down and then pray that you land the Luka, the Kyrie, whatever. You pray you land that superstar Embiid.
It's not. You don't even need to land that superstar. Yeah, that would be amazing. That's what
you have to build the team the right way. Build the team the right way.
It's like if they had their picks, they could have. They were just getting impatient.
Like
OKC
they were like,
built their team back in the day. Finals. I'm just saying they said like, oh, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, so we must be good.
Let's get one. Let's get one other player.
But they really were not that good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And then like
it was a
what
fluke
they could have done was they could have been in this upcoming draft. It's supposed to be like one of the best drafts in years. They could have got a player this year. They could have found someone in the second round.
The 1 and 2 picks might be some of the best players, that we're gonna see for the next 20 years.
But they say even the rest of the draft, they say it's like a deep draft.
Okay.
That's what they say. I don't look into these things. I'm not that into it, but like that's what they say.
We'll leave it to Mel Kiper.
Yeah. We'll get
wait. So now that was the East. Now we go to the West. You got Timberwolves. We discussed Who's the other three? So the Kings lost, but the Kings, you know, took the champs to 7. I don't really think they need to shake it up so much. I think they're really good. I
They're
think
another team that they
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 have to
got.
decide what to do with Harrison Barnes. I feel like he's a veteran presence, and they'll
Yeah,
just resign him
I'm probably
because
just
there's no
resign. He's
reason
a free
not to.
agent this season.
I think he's a free agent, but I think him and the team both know that they want to kind of stay where they are,
Yeah, I'm sure they
and
could sign him for 15
they're
million,
going to get better.
17
The
million
more
a
and
year.
more, the more healthy they are, the more they play together year after year, they're going to get better. And these guys are young and they can run the floor and they can shoot the hell out of the 3 ball.
You have
They
to.
have 5-6 shooters. They're a very
They're
good team. They
good
don't need to make
team.
changes. They just need to keep coming back and not get discouraged and try to win it
The
every
the
year.
thing
And
about the
I think
Kings,
I think they could win. I think they could win.
I also
I'm
do.
not saying
I
I'm not
agree.
going to put them as top 5 championship
If
contending next year,
if
but
they
I
if
think
they got a
they are a
different
good team.
matchup in the first round,
Right.
they would be
Build
like,
their confidence through a win, get to the second round, whatever. Yeah, okay. So there's going to be no changes there. Maybe 1 or 2
but
pieces get
the
added.
point is the difference between a team like the Kings and a team like the Cavs or the Hawks or whatever. They got an asset and made their team. First of all, they traded Halliburton. Everyone was
Right.
clowning them
Everyone
for
was
that.
clowning them, and it was the greatest move since sliced
And they
bread.
got a pick. They got Sabonis. They are in a position to keep improving through the draft or to make another star trade.
Right.
And
Right.
they just proved that they're one of the best teams in the West,
Right.
if not the top 4, whatever. Maybe not one of the
Well,
best, but
I don't
top
like
4
Sabonis,
teams.
but we already spoke about this. I just don't. I don't like.
You
I
don't
don't
have to
like the
like
thing.
him. He's a good player.
He's a very good player. No, he's a very good player. I have a lot of complaints about some of the things he's done, his antics, whatever. I don't know, the
He's
flopping and the
weird.
thing and the
Okay,
fighting and
whatever.
the complaining. Listen,
Yeah,
he did get beat up. He did get stomped on his chest by the monkey Draymond. The
he didn't
Draymond
have a
Green
good.
show.
He didn't have a good series. Also,
I don't know. If you're in the NBA and they're leaving you alone at the free throw line, and the whole series they left him alone, and just saying, just shoot a jumper. Shouldn't you? You're in the NBA. You're the best 400 players in the entire universe.
it's really
How are you not
ridiculous.
able to hit a 16-foot wide open? I just whatever. They just let him have it the whole series, and he couldn't. He hit like 2. I don't know. And he can only go left. He always goes left. He's a super lefty. He's like him and Fox and the Knicks. They're super lefty teams. It's very weird. But anyways,
How good is
fine.
Fox?
Fox is a stud. He won Clutch Player of the Year. Shouldn't be. It's not a shocker, but he can turn it on. He's the fastest player to get down the court.
It's crazy.
I can't believe Lonzo Ball got drafted ahead of him. I can't believe it. Like, it's crazy. He's so good. He's so good. I watch him the whole series because
Is Lonzo Ball ever going to play basketball ever again?
I don't know. This guy has a knee injury for breakfast, then he has a knee injury for dinner. Same day. It's his other knee, and then for dessert, he's got his ankle. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. The Ball brothers. I think I'd rather have the one who stole from the stores. Who's the other one? Jello.
What's his name?
Jello. He's like on the Hornets. What's it called? Team like AAU team or G League team. Yeah, but Melo's a stud, which is something the Warriors whiffed on back in the day. They could have taken him over Wiseman. Whatever. I mean, not that he was going to help you win championships because, but he was a tradable asset. Like, whatever.
He was a tradable asset. They also could have traded Wiseman right when they picked him. They could have traded the pick.
Earlier. It's a big mistake. Big mistake that they didn't punt on the young talent because, look, I don't like the way they're turning out. I thought in the beginning I was going to like what I would see from Moses Moody and Kaminga.
I told you these guys they're good.
They declined. They just, I don't know. They come on the court. They look aimless. I don't know what, you know what I mean? They make a play here. They make a play there. They dunk the ball. They get the 3. Whatever. I don't know.
They're the type of guys that complain that they don't get enough time when they literally have one of the greatest players ever on their team. Like,
and the worst.
What do you expect?
How do you want more time if you have? We can't put you on the floor. Anyways, we only have a minute and a half left. So should we do what's the last 2 teams? The Lakers beat Memphis. Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Memphis enough. Dylan Brooks is not coming back to Memphis.
My God, I can't. I want to.
What a clown!
What a clown. He's
clown.
Like the biggest clown I've ever seen.
LeBron's old, and then he beat you.
Did you see
I don't
that
know.
left, like that drive? He was like, LeBron can't go left, and he literally scored a lefty and one layup,
I
close
don't
out
know
the
what
game
what
on
does
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks.
Brooks' future look like in
This
the league? He's gonna
guy,
be working at UPS.
you know that meme, the Donald Trump. Maybe that's something you should call China and ask China.
I don't know
Shanghai
what.
Sharks, baby.
So they already announced they're gonna move off Dylan Brooks, and I guess they just keep trying to win with the team that they have now. Whatever, Jaws. I don't know. I don't. They
They're
were
not
supposed
going
to be better
anywhere.
than this.
They need to
They're
get
not going
serious.
anywhere,
They need
and
to
they're
get serious.
immature. And then you have the Clippers, which we need to discuss, but we don't have time now because we didn't go fast enough.
Another mess. So
Another mess. What a mess. What a mess. You got two guys who don't play. What do? They're just gonna run it back with Westbrook. All right, is it over now?
yeah.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Wait, it says and DM if you want to join and let's record this shit. Is it still going?
I have no idea.
It says less than a minute for 20 minutes.